Hey, mahal everyone, welcome back again to the Broadway Saiyan YouTube channel. I am your host 40, and we are back with another video on Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia, the global version of Opera Omnia. In today's video, I'm going to be covering the next upcoming character event entitled A Mischievous Black Mage, which is going to be featuring Final Fantasy IV's Palom. No Porum, unfortunately. Porum's not even out in JP yet, but we are getting Palom, so let's dive right into this upcoming character event. So, a mischievous black mage joining Global Opera Omnia is Final Fantasy IV's cocky, prodigy black mage from Dissidia, Palom, twin brother of Porum. Affiliated with the Black Crystal, Palom brings his magical prowess to the cast, constantly improving his abilities per usage to show off his magical prowess. Statistically, the young mage excels in attack, initial brave, max brave, and speed. His HP and defense are low, making him a bit squishy, so he is extremely aggressive as far as being a magical attacker, but he does need a little bit of TLC because he's a bit squishy. This event will reward us with Palom's 5-star 35 CP Black Robe, up to 2 copies. We will also see 3 new weapons in the summon banner, and a new boss called the Crimson Lizard challenges us in this event. So talking about Palom's abilities, so Palom has 2 abilities, but they change into better versions of them every time you use them. So Bluff Plus, and Bluff Plus Plus grants him a unique buff to himself called Power of Black Magic for either 2, 3, or 4 turns depending on the iteration that you're using, and it also raises his Brave based on his attack. So Power of Black Magic raises his attack, and it turns Brave Attack into Brave Attack Plus for 2, 3, or 4 turns, again depending on which version of Bluff you're using. His Brave Attack Plus is going to be a 1-hit non-elemental magic Brave Attack. His second ability again follows the same mechanic, Dissidia's Ice Crystal, which also changes into plus and plus plus. So it's going to be a 1-hit ice magic brave attack. It's going to be stronger with the other variants. It's going to grant him a unique buff called Wisdom of Black Magic for 2, 3, and 4 turns, again depending on the iteration that you use. And Wisdom of Black Magic is a unique buff that raises Palom's max brave. This also changes his HP attack into dual cast for either 2, 3, or 4 turns depending on which version of his ability you use first. And dual cast is going to be a 2-hit ice magic brave plus HP attack. And then finally, he has Dissidia's Great Ice Crystal. So this is going to be a 1-hit Ice Magic Brave plus HP attack. So this requires 1 usage left of his ability 2, which is Dissidia's Ice Crystal, and it also requires his 35 CP passive. So overall, his kit's kind of funny because it plays along the lines of how he was in Final Fantasy IV. He was a very powerful, prodigy young mage, but he was extremely cocky and he messes around a lot. So essentially, he's never really serious, but he begins to really show off his abilities like slowly. So that's the kind of character that he is. I think he's pretty unique, and I think it's pretty cool and funny. So his crystal passives are as follows. The ones that I would definitely kind of shy away from is critical brave gain, break boost, and back attack. I really don't feel like he needs those. However, the rest of his passives really benefit him. The most impressive one being his last one at level 50, which is Black Mage's Talent, because it increases the brave damage inflicted by his Brave Attack Plus and his dual cast, which is ironically his brave attack and dual cast and HP attack abilities transformed when you're using his ability. So it's kind of cool that he has that. So that really helps him out in the event that you're running out of his other abilities. His artifact passives are as follows. So Brave Guard Up, 1-star, 2-star. He gets a defense power increase when his brave is over 50% max brave. Black Magic Talent, 1-star, 2-star. His brave damage dealt by either his Brave Attack Plus and dual cast is increased by either 2% or 5%. Bluff Brave Gain increases the brave that he gets after using Bluff based on his initial brave. And then Dissidia's Ice Crystal Power Up, 1-star, 2-star, increasing the brave damage of Dissidia's Ice Crystal. Definitely the ones that you want to focus on if you're going to be farming up his artifact passives are Attack plus 108, Black Magic Talent 2-star, and Dissidia's Ice Crystal Power Up 2-star. He is definitely a very offensive mage, so you want as much attack on him as possible. Alright, so new weapons to pull for this upcoming event. So we're going to be having the 35 CP Fairy Rod for Palom. So this is going to be giving a damage output increase to all of the variations of his second ability, Dissidia's Ice Crystal, and the potency of his unique buff with that ability, Wisdom of Black Magic, is going to be increased. It's also going to extend dual cast duration and its damage output, and Dissidia's Ice Crystal is also going to get an additional usage, and like I said earlier, it changes that last usage into Dissidia's Great Ice Crystal. His 15 CP Mysidius Rod is going to give him an increase in Brave gain. It's also going to lower the action delay of all of Bluff's variants. It's going to be increasing the potency of the unique buff that he gets with it called Power of Black Magic, and it's also going to be extending the duration of that unique buff. It's also going to be extending the duration of his Brave Attack Plus, lowering the action delay, and increasing its potency. And then finally, we're going to be getting 35 CP Ashura for Edge, since he is a synergy character. So it's going to be giving him another usage for smoke. It's going to be raising the Brave gain that he gets from the ability. It's going to be increasing the potency of a unique buff called Eblin's Teaching. So our Edge actually does not have that yet. So this is going to be part of his buffs, his character buffs that he's going to be getting. So he's going to be getting this Eblin's Teachings. So this 35 CP improves that, and it's also going to be increasing its duration. And then he also now has an AoE provoke for 1 turn, which is amazing that he's going to be doing that, because as we know, smoke allows Edge to dodge. So he's going to be that dodge tank that everyone was anticipating or talking about when Edge got his level 60 awakening over in JP. So we're gonna have a chance to kind of mess around with that. So it's gonna be kind of cool. And then the repeated weapons on this banner are 15 CP Kikuichi Monji for Edge, 15 CP Physician Staff for Vanille, and then 35 CP, not 15, I apologize for the typo, but 35 CP Hunter's Rod for Vanille. So if you haven't had a chance to get one of the repeated weapons on the banner, there you go, you have a chance to get them. Overall, it's a fairly decent banner. I feel the real prize is honestly Edge's weapon. I'm gonna get into another video in a deeper dive to Palom and how he's gonna be performing and all that. But I feel like the prize for this banner, if you wanna pull, is definitely going to be Edge. Now, the boss is going to be the Crimson Lizard. So one thing I forgot to mention is that this boss is pretty much the same variant as the Iguyans that we were able to combat in a previous event. I think it was a World of Illusions event, but pretty much you're going to be fighting 2 of them. They both have a chase HP value of 40. They resist fire, however, they are both weak to water and lightning, and they are also weak to magical attacks. They like to buff themselves with either Wild Resonance and Igniting Roar. So these buffs restore their HP, they give them HP regen, and they buff all statistics except their initial Brave. You want to watch out for Shred Flame and Eruption because they both deal Brave and HP damage, and then they also have a Fire Imperil debuff with an ability called Blaze Shot, and then when one of them falls, the other one will buff itself and get a little bit stronger. Again, I don't really see this co-op, the event, being too difficult, and for the co-op, I don't feel like it's going to be that hard either, especially if you use the boosted characters. And when you have so many characters in the cast already, should you not have the boosted characters or have them built up, that you could definitely use for the Crimson Lizard boss. So some tips to prepare: you want to definitely farm up black crystals to unlock as many crystal passives for Palom. If you have them built up, utilize Edge and Vanille because they are synergy. You want to abuse the Crimson Lizard's weakness with other characters. So characters like Lightning, Onion Knight, Papalimo, Cater, and Vincent all have either one of the elements that these lizards are weak to. And then single player, use Shiva or Ramu for the weakness. And now, because co-op is no longer score based, which is awesome, sticking to Shiva or Ramu is perfectly fine for co-op, because now it's all about getting those weapon tokens. And remember, when you use the synergy characters, you do get more drops. So just keep that in mind when you're doing co-op. All right, guys, you guys know how I like to do my character prep videos. We're going to be taking a look at some gameplay from my JP version of Dissidia Opera Omnia to give you guys a visual for the upcoming Mischievous Black Mage Palom event. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Alrighty guys, so here we are with my JP account, going to be giving you guys a gameplay showcase for the upcoming Palom event that is going to be hitting global. Again, what I like to do with these demonstrations is when I use the synergy characters, because these characters are already past level 50 because of how far JP is compared to global, I remove the passives that buff up their ability, so that way when you guys get a visual of the ability, you're seeing essentially what we're going to be getting, or as close as what we're going to be getting in global. However, as a treat, I'm going to be using this friend Palom that I have that likely has his level 55 and level 60 passives, which he'll be getting later, and he also has his EX weapon. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use his EX when we get to the boss. But let's go ahead and tackle this event here so you guys have a visual for the upcoming Palom event. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and use Edge's smoke screen. He has his 35 CP, so as you can see, he has his Eblin's Teachings unique buff, and then he also places an AoE provoke, so that's really, really cool. So with Palom, we're going to go ahead and use Bluff, so that's just regular Bluff, and it's going to turn to Bluff Plus, and it's also going to change his Brave Attack to Brave Attack Plus, and with Vanille, we're just going to use an HP attack. Why not? Alright. And then let's take a look at Mischievously's Ice Crystal. So we're gonna use this one. Okay. And I actually don't have Palom's 15 CP passive. I have the weapon, but I haven't unlocked the passive yet, so that's why you see only one turn left. It's essentially I'm using the vanilla version of his bluff ability. But because I have his Fairy Rod on him, he has the potency increased of Wisdom of Black Magic from his second ability. So that's going to be dual cast right there. So it's a 2-hit Ice Magical Brave plus HP attack. Again, he does need his Wisdom of Black Magic unique buff. Okay, so we're going to use Bluff again. We're going to use Bluff Plus, actually. So we're going to use Bluff Plus. Okay, let's go ahead and debuff the mid-boss. And then we're going to use Bluff Plus Plus so we get the full benefit of Bluff. Alright, and we are almost to the boss. Here we go. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and tackle the boss here. So again, as I said earlier, I am going to show you guys Palom's EX, just as a nice treat, so especially for those of you who are Palom fans. I know one of my viewers on my Twitch stream, his name is Gregory Thomas. He really likes Palom, so this will be a treat to see. Alright, so let's go ahead and bring in the friend Palom, and we're gonna use this EX here. Nice. So it's that sounded like Comet, which is an ability from Final Fantasy IV. It even had kind of like the same sound effects from Final Fantasy IV, so that's pretty cool. Alright, and this Palom is going to have his passives at level 55 and 60, so you're going to see some boosted versions of his abilities. So like right there, you saw his better version of Bluff, and we're going to see Mischievously's Ice Crystal. So that's his Mischievously Ice Crystal when he has his level 60 Awakening and passive on. And and look at that! So his EX is fast charging, so we get to see it again. And he totally just finished and nuked the Crimson Lizard. Alright guys, well that is going to be it for the gameplay on my JP account showcasing the upcoming Palom event for the global version of the game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Once again, I am 40 the Broadway Saiyan. Stay tuned for the next video, and mahal everyone.